This is the brief on the election of 1860 and the fractured nation. Okay, so picture this, 1860. Things were already really tense, you know? Disasters like the Dred Scott decision saying Congress couldn't limit slavery and actual fighting in bleeding Kansas. Yeah, the mood was bad. This election, it wasn't just politics as usual. It felt like the country itself was on the line. So, first key takeaway, the whole thing became a powder keg because the Democratic Party, one of the last things holding North and South together, just shattered over slavery. And boom, you get this messy four-way race instead of a clear choice. You had Lincoln for the Republicans saying no more slavery spreading, then Stephen Douglas, a Northern Democrat, pushing popular sovereignty, basically let the settlers decide. John Breckinridge, the Southern Democrat, demanded federal protection for slavery everywhere. And then John Bell, kind of waving a flag for the Union, but pretty quiet on the slavery details. Second, and this is crucial, the results were just devastating for the South. Lincoln actually won with less than 40% of the popular vote. But here's the kicker. He swept all the free states and got 0 votes in 10 Southern states. It was a totally sectional win. And that showed Southern leaders, clear as day, that the North could run the whole country without them, making their political voice, well, kind of useless. And finally, the South saw Lincoln's win, his plan to basically fence slavery in, as a death sentence for their whole way of life. A slow strangulation, you know? So South Carolina bolted just 44 days later, starting the secession wave. The crisis spun out fast because President Buchanan, he said secession was illegal, but did basically nothing. And Lincoln, he rejected the last big compromise attempt, the Crittenden Compromise, sticking to his guns on not letting slavery expand. That kind of slammed the door on any last political solution. The 1860 election handed power to the North, essentially forcing the slaveholding South to pick revolution over losing their political leverage for good.